Welcome to the Pioneer Agronomy Update. We've been out all season following this crop, and it's a fun time now to get out and see what's happening as we get into this harvest season. We're talking with Donnie Almers. We're in the Oberon area. Of course, you're based at Bremen, North Dakota. Yep. Give us a snapshot. I know this region's had a lot of moisture, especially up front of the season.
Early, yeah. So I believe it was June 24th. Where we're standing right here had approximately 5.5 inches of rain, and it wasn't more than about 1 mile to 2 miles south of here had up to 7 inches of rain in one fast shot.
That's hard to take. Give me an idea how the crop has performed.
Well, so far it's been pretty good. We've got people in the Maddock country taking off some soybeans, a little bit in the Cheyenne country. What we're seeing early is some not as good at yields, because a lot of the early stuff they're taking off maybe is in the lighter soil and burned up from the lack of the July and lack of August moisture. So a lot of 20s. But then now we're starting to hear some stuff getting up into the 30s, and there'll be some 40s and even some 50 bushel soybeans in the country.
Last couple nights we were flirting with that freezing temperature. A few of us snuck down below it. Do you guys get nipped with that at all?
Yeah, a little bit in spots. It's really variable where it hit hard and where it didn't, but it was not a consistent kill in the area at all.
Let's talk about Enlist. Obviously, is one of the big stories, I think, of 2022. What's your thoughts on it? Why are growers making that switch?
Yeah, so there's just been a lot of extend fields where people have not been happy with it's the kochia. I mean, with the kochia control, and so there is a lot more interest than I anticipated in the Enlist beans with Enlist and Liberty together. It really does do a fantastic job on kochia, and so there's a lot of people talking about switching some of their acres, if not their whole farm, for 2023.
And what's nice is you have choices.
As far as different varieties, you mean? Yeah, so there is getting to be a lot more options. The A series beans, we've bred in the Phytophthora and white mold, and some of the main agronomic problems with some of those earlier Enlist beans are now looking really, really good.
And certainly, like you said, Enlist, but they have that extend option if they want to go that direction too.
Yeah, yep. We're still going to be selling lots of straight extend soybeans for 2023. Also, guys can still do that, and there'll be a lot of those guys still with the extend soybeans as well.
Always a pleasure visiting with you, Donnie.
Yeah, thank you, Don.
Donnie Almers with us, and we're going to pull Christy into this. Christy Sundin, field agronomist. Give us a snapshot. We're really on the front side of this harvest.
Yeah, so harvest is progressing pretty quickly. I look at it from my full geography, so Donnie's area is into soybeans. Dry beans are pretty much on the tail end, but you go to my northern tier, there's still wheat and canola out there, so there's still a lot of harvest left to do, especially in that northern tier.
What kind of results are we seeing?
All over the board. It depends where guys got rain, what the planting dates were. You get to that north, you're talking the end of May into June planting time frame. So the lack of rains in July into August did hurt some of the crops. Canola yields are all over the board. I can say the same for wheat yields, anywhere from 40 to 80. Canola is anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500. So it just really depended on the field and the conditions that happened in the field.
And certainly soybeans, same thing. As wet as we were when we started, we're going to see some challenges maybe with some of the early beans. What are your thoughts as we get really into the heart of this bean crop?
It really depends on, I think, maturities and when those rains hit, and if you got the rain in August and how far along those beans were. I do think we're going to have a fairly good bean crop. I'm expecting 20s to 50. It just, again, depends. Did you have the rain? Was your maturity still long enough that you were picking up that? Because a lot of guys earlied up on maturity, and that's good because we were worried about frost when you're planting in June. But if you didn't get the rains until the end of August and your stuff was already dropping, then it might not have translated into yield.
What about the early corn?
So the early corn, we've got black layer in a lot of varieties. Areas that we were pushing maturities in, we're not full black layer yet. There's a lot of stuff that's at 3/4 milk line, so we're getting there. Again, same thing frost. I have some areas that were down to 25 and other places that so far have skirted. You can see a little bit of frost damage in the corn and the soybeans in the tops or the leaves, but it didn't kill the whole plant. So still hopeful that we didn't take any top end yield off on that.
Well, certainly we're at this time when we're bringing in this crop, but we're also focused on 23.
Yeah, if guys are interested, we've already started going out to meet with customers and get some stuff in our system. We've got our A series and enlist soybeans. We've got quite a bit of new ones. We have 04 and 2 06s that are A series. So A series to us means it's proprietary products. You're only going to find it in a Pioneer bag, and that's really important to us. Plus, we're bringing better agronomics in those bags too. So for us, that's really important. But we do have some experimentals that I've been in the fields of that really look promising, especially in those early double O's.
That's really exciting, fun stuff to see. Appreciate the chance to connect.
All right, thanks, Don.
Christy Sundin, Donnie Almers again. We're in that Oberon, North Dakota area. It is the Pioneer Agronomy Update.